Hi, good evening. Welcome to Tux TV. I am your host, Jimmy Tux, and I want to thank you, Chris, for being the first here. And I pinned the link to join. And anyone that wants to jump in, feel free. Especially if you got some time. Just chit chat about some religious shorts that I came across, sweeping through the interwebs today. Because, that's what we do. Pretty low key. I saw Niddy go on really late last night, and I watched it today, and it was a pretty good show. I thought, maybe I can catch that lightning in a bottle. Hey, welcome to the program, Fenton. It's good to see you. And the first thing I wanted to do was go over a little religious invitation that I thought was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Chris, I'll let you on in a moment, okay? I'm going to get at least this one, and then maybe we'll do a couple a little bit later. Let's do it this way. Remember, you use your Chrome. It's probably not going to work on Firefox. Sometimes it doesn't. This is Restream, not StreamYard. I don't go with the easy one like StreamYard. I go with the hard one like Restream. You're welcome. All right, let's play. I don't even know who this is. All I know is his message is it's oh, what's this? What's BS say? BS says you had to catch the free thinker chat as a precursor to Eduardo. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Eduardo. It was quite fun. Yeah, I missed the chat. I went to bed. I hung with Mrs. Tux last night, and then I went to bed. And I thought, I'm just not even going to touch my computer. If I'm still awake in 5 minutes, I'll see what's going on the webs. And let's just say my head hits the pillow and I'm sleeping. It wasn't 5 minutes. It was like 30 seconds, and I was out. But yes, I got a link pinned in there. You're welcome to join. All right. Let's see. This is, Matt Hagee. I don't even know who he is, but this message is profound, and we should believe it.
Can people who never hear the gospel go to heaven? Jesus said that no one comes unto the Father but by me, that he is the door. How you come to Christ can be through a multitude of things, but you have to come to Christ. If you hear that in a message from a pastor, you have to come to Christ. If that's through a song that a singer sings, you have to come to Christ. If that's through a track that someone hands you, you have to come to Christ.
You got that? You have to do it. You have to do it through Christ. And any of these messages you hear, you have to have come to Christ through one of those messages. Just by hearing the message, you are now of the obligation, as we're about to find out.
The message of Jesus Christ is the good news of the gospel. Regardless of how you get there, you have to come to Christ.
There you go. That's all you have to do. Now, with the presupposition that I have that the Bible is a well-manufactured piece of deception. To come to Christ in this way as a demand, well, we'll just see. I would love to find out he's right, in all honesty, but I don't think he is. I think if you basically, let's get the next one prepared here and teed up. Chris, how's your audio doing? Chris, you're dead to me. Dead. Dead. You come here with this no working microphone. You're dead. So here's my question to the last gent. Matt, if the Bible is just written by Joe Schmo of apocalyptic preacher times, I ask you this: who do you actually worship? Is it somebody who's sincere and believes something and they were probably wrong? Or how about somebody who was doing it on purpose and doing it as a human deceiver to gain power, to gain influence, to gain money? Offer me any of those. Offer me any of those. Do I do this for power, money, and influence? Well, probably. I mean, I'll call you when I'm serious. But if there is no such thing as a supernatural being, Jesus, well, you got a problem. Whoever it is that wrote this put shackles on you, and you were deceived. All right, let's play this next gent. He is, let's just say this is hardcore. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to play this guy next instead. And because he's a little more profound in his thrusting it on me.
As long as you say Jesus, all the sins beforehand are forgiven, and any sin you commit after doesn't matter. That's dumb.
That's dumb. I know, right?
It's just stupid. Here's
stupid. I mean, gross. Not worshiping Jesus.
something for all Protestants out there to think about. You're following a crazy Catholic priest.
Now, here's what I don't understand. Is they show an image of Martin Luther as the crazy Catholic priest. But he would actually be the dissenting. He looks like an evil Steve Martin. Thank you. Oh, we've got to post that one. That's hilarious. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yes, he does look like an evil. Oh my goodness. Convert turned prophet. And not with a PH. Not with a PH, folks.
You go on about how much you hate Catholicism and how it's wrong here and the Catholic Church made this up. Your entire belief system comes from a crazy Catholic priest. St. John.
Like, if you badmouth, like, it blows my mind when two Christians get together and start badmouthing each other. It just blows my mind. So this is from a website called Church Militant. Like, it's an atheist wet dream. Oh.
In his Apocalypse, makes it very clear. It says, nothing unclean shall enter in. Heaven, he's talking about. You have to
okay. Everybody got that?
be perfect.
Got to be perfect.
No blemish, no nothing.
Oopsies.
That's the point of purgatory. All of that is purged away. It's a safety net executed in the larger couching of his mercy.
Got that? like that's pretty impressive. You got to be perfect. And everybody's following a crazy Catholic priest. Chris, did you get online yet? I think it's time we all talk. We talk dirty about Chris. I am Chris. Wonder if I could G-hub a couple of voices for Chris. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's do the effects. And there we go.
All right. This is definitely not Tux. This is definitely Chris. And I'm filling in for Tux right now. And I would just like to say about that last guy, Tux is almost unblemished, completely unblemished. And I know this because I have firsthand experience about the con men who wrote the Bible. No.
Well, thank you, Chris. That was very much appreciated. I'm really glad you think as I do. I really appreciate it. All right, Chris. I'm sorry, but you're not working out tonight. I am Spartacus. All right, let's see what this. I think this is the same website, Church Militant. This is Church Militant too. like we're just gonna go through these guys.
Good, you're Catholic now. Now spend 10 years familiarizing yourself with our doctrine, with Catholic tradition, with the Catholic intellectual rigor, and then maybe start to speak. Is there a danger in turning these people into celebrities and mini prophets before they're fully infused?
So you know what? There's I think there's some context in this short missing, but would you follow this guy to the promised land?
With the culture of Catholicism?
Very, very piercing observation, David,
piercing.
and I 100%
Did you hear
agree
that?
It's
piercing. Yeah. Acknowledge the sound. Are you using Chrome, Chris? Yeah. Try using Chrome. It only, I think Restream mainly works in Chrome. It sometimes works in Firefox. Yeah, use Chrome. There's your problem. I'm booting you. But come back in. All right.
because at the end of the day, yes, they're intellectual celebrities. Yes, they have huge followings. But at the end of the day, as St. Paul says, we have to give them time to go from milk to meat.
Milk to meat. Gotta go from milk to meat. Yeah. All right. Look at that. So, I have hit the pay dirt. I mean, absolute pay dirt on this. Let's do this right here.
You have the sacred office, the throne of Peter established by Christ himself, and then you have the man occupying that office. Two separate things. And if this man who occupies the sacred office of Pope is unworthy and immoral, sinful, and horrible, it does not.
So, what do you think? Is Chris? What did you say? Oh, Niddy! Chris, your Chrome didn't work either. Niddy, you're more than welcome to hop on. I saw your stream this morning. I didn't watch it last night because it was very late. Very, very late. So I'm just going to kind of play some shorts tonight and kind of make fun of some folks who are in these shorts. Like the amount of... this is for a low-hanging fruit. This is such a low-hanging fruit.
Not invalidate the sacred office. Why? Because Christ himself, God himself, established that sacred office, and only God can invalidate it. No sinful mortal man has the power to invalidate what Christ himself has set up.
Morning, Sandals. Oh, it's so good to see you.
So this man, whichever pope it may be utterly unworthy to inhabit the throne of Peter. Doesn't abolish the validity of the throne of Peter, which is why we can say with confidence, even if the pope is utterly wicked and scandalizes people, the Catholic Church remains the church that...
So the church that got established. Now, I'm sorry, but one of the things that frustrates me about whether Peter is telling a lie or telling the truth is he's regarded as Jesus is Satan. He's also predicted to tell 3 lies. And then he not only tells lies, but he tells them to people of authority. If you were to design a book of deception, would you use outstanding upright citizens? Would you use known liars, predicted liars?
God established, against which the gates of hell will not prevail. This was not founded by a man. This was founded by God himself.
Hey everyone, I'm Madeline. I'm a video producer.
You have the sacred office.
No. Wow. What would you do if you were me? You think that the Bible is deception. You're warned about it, that it's deception. But yet, I mean, I think it's deception. And I think when you use Peter in the way that she's using Peter, you're going to get yourself...
Rachel Mastro Giacomo.
Deception. Deception. There's Niddy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, Niddy.
Hey,
It is so good to see you, Niddy.
Oh yeah, man.
Who is Stupid Monkey Philosophy?
I don't know.
I think welcome to the program, Stupid Monkey Philosophy. I think this is your first time here.
Yeah. Yeah, man, my show last night, that shit was one of the more epic things. We'll call it that, things that happened in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw my comment today and you commented on it. I wonder what the sincerity level of, or if he was attempting audio video evangelical snapping on you.
It's so weird because, like, on the one hand, the guy wants, like, there to be some core true proposition to Christianity that's somehow completely devoid of emotion, and that's why he believes it. And then he's asking me, hey, emotion is all bad, don't believe anything on emotions. It's like, what if I tell you I don't, and I'm just passionate about something? Right?
Yeah.
Like, or I just in fact know, or to the best, I have a justified true belief that something is true. And you're just straight up what I view as lying to me. And you're just going to say, oh, you shouldn't get emotional about that.
Yeah. I must say I missed some of the context, you definitely started out on, going just past the speed limit on emotions. So him calling you out on the emotions. But here's the thing. I think you did explain a little bit on, why the emotions were running a little hot. So.
Yeah. And it's like, I try not to push like specific people's buttons at particular chats. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I would never like go to some Christian stream and like notice some user and be like, hey, you freaking transphobe, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell would that be? Like, it's completely. And if they go, please don't call me that, and I don't want to talk about that right now, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. You know, like, fine, I'll respect your boundaries, you know? And then if they clap back with like, oh, now you're going to back down. It's like, no, I want to be a civil person. You know what I mean? Like,
be a decent human
I just
being.
don't get it.
Chris, audio is working.
Finally.
I wanted to do a stream tonight where I kind of lay out like an internal critique on that take, like being emotional about what's true. So I was going to go chronologically through the Bible of every time God makes a decision, but it's coupled with his emotions, right? And if God, in the typical like Abrahamic sense for a lot of Christians, is omniscient, he knows all true facts, right? And he is experiencing an emotion and acts in accordance with those facts. That means his emotions are tied to the truth of matters, right? He's not acting. Do you want to say that when God has emotions from his planned decision to do a thing, he's irrational? Like, you want to call your God irrational, then you're dumb. Right? Then you'll just have to say, oops, God knows all true propositions and all possible counterfactuals, and he still experiences an emotion and makes a decision based on those facts of reality. Those things go hand in hand for your God belief. You cannot divorce those things without just burning your Bible every time it says that God has an emotion.
Well, you can argue that, you know, it's like finger pointing on whose God is true and who's not, and you know, it's like,
no, it's worse than that. It's finger pointing on your on who's the rational one. It's like that Spider-Man meme, like, you have the emotions. No, you do.
Right. That makes sense.
Boo boo, you're the irrational one.
Yeah. Yes.
So when he came on, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to play that game. You can accuse me of it. I already did that to you in Tyler's chat on his stream. So, you know, fuck it. I'll be nicer now that you're actually here. But yeah, let's make fun of stupid Christians. This will be more fun.
Yeah. El stupido e cristiano.
Came to me and told me essentially that she was abused in a satanic ritual abuse.
So
what?
Yeah. So how can the Catholics satanic ritual abuse, if I'm not mistaken, they're talking about a priest here that was the abuser.
There was so much objective documentation in this case. We have the admission of, I think it was the Chancellor or Vicar General.
Chancellor or Vicar General. So they're talking about Vicar General. They're talking about somebody in the UK. Then.
The satanic is inside. It's coming from inside the house.
Yes.
Well, oh, no.
It's I don't know why, but it's like, do you really want, like, it's kind of crazy a little bit to me that people think, like, in this day and age, that Satan really exists. Like,
yeah, it blows my mind too.
Yeah,
it's a great time to bring up the bow tie 8, ladies and gentlemen. Chris has brought to our attention that if you want your free gift of salvation, that you need to bring evidence to the table that God, Yahweh El, exists. Jesus exists as a supernatural being. The Holy Spirit exists as a supernatural being. Satan and devil exists as a supernatural being. Demons, angels exist as supernatural beings. And that supernatural places such as heaven and hell exists. And if you do bring evidence to the table of one of these 8 entities existing, we'll need an alibi that the deceiver, the supernatural Satan and devil character, is not in cahoots with God, Yahweh, or El, as if it were some sort of Job-type bet that Jesus is in cahoots with the devil, as John 8 clearly points out that Jesus might be possessed by a devil. I'm sorry, possessed by a demon, is a demon, is the devil, and of course, that the Bible. How much yeast raises the whole loaf? If the devil got a hold of just one verse and wrote it for himself, that is enough leaven to raise the whole loaf. How many don'ts and do's would you have to erase for the devil to be of deception in the Holy Bible? And then angels. Because if you read Revelations from beginning to end, the angels are the ones who are the bad guys. Man, they're badass. Mama Jammas.
Trusty Ape asks, what do we mean by exists? I think what you're saying is different than, like, I could say a unicorn exists, or Unicron from the Transformers movie. Those things both exist, but they exist in a fictionalist sense.
Yes.
Right? Those are labels to characterize characters or entities that aren't necessarily a part of reality, except for like stuffed animals and action figures, right?
If
200 the actual, planet-eating alien robot, like, does not have a bearing on daily life or the interaction of materials that matters to anyone or anything, really.
Yeah.
Fenton, the answer to the question is John 8. Roughly John 8, 40 area starts the conversation that Jesus is accused of being possessed by a demon. Then he is accused of being a demon, and then he is accused of being the devil.
And there's just like one thing that we have to remember. God created the devil. So basically he created his own villain so he could be the good guy of the story.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really compute.
Omniscience and devil creation are just not compatible in the first place without some massive mind wrangling.
I would also like to add to that, Fenton, that I think the easiest takedown of Christianity, the entirety of the house of cards of Christianity, falls on one word, also in John 8, and that's in John 8:48, where he's accused of being possessed by a demon, but he's also accused of being a Samaritan. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Samaritan is, it's not just a nice story about that good Samaritan over there. It's not the version of the woman at the well who's a Samaritan who gets Jesus' time of day. It is a reference that you are essentially the equivalent of being a bastard. And not just any bastard. You're a bastard who your father is a Gentile. Which means there's no virgin birth. Mary had sex with somebody. That means there's no God for a dad. The Holy Spirit didn't impregnate. It was a human being that impregnated.
Yeah, there's no actual birth narrative in the Gospel of John.
No. Mark and John pretty much forfeit any kind of reference to a virgin birth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's only relevant in Matthew and Luke.
Yeah, but
it's only
You can also basically trace the virgin births thing from the children of the gods to earlier religions.
Sure.
Like, you know.
Oh, that's not true. Eric Manning had a video on this, and I'm convinced that there's no way that there is a narrative that is similar or exactly like anything coming out of Egypt or the Caesars Augustus. None whatsoever. It's completely different. It doesn't exist. Pay no mind to the man behind the curtain. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Any coincidence therein would be undesigned.
Yes.
These motherfuckers. All right, let's get on
Let's
with
hear.
it.
Let's hear.
Let's get on with it.
Himself in the testimony to
in the vicar.
police that yes, this happened. This priest, Father Jacob Bertrand, admitted this alt and he desecrated.
I wonder if we can look this guy up. Do we want to go down that rabbit hole?
Well, it's not really admissible in court.
It's midnight over at Niddy's place. What better things do we have to do? So let's see. What was the name of this? Friar Jacob Bertrand. Let's take a look. Jacob Bertrand. All right. Oh my. This was in Minnesota. He's a friar.
And now he moved to San Diego.
He's in San Diego. What? What is this sorcery?
Is it because of shenanigans?
It's because of the devil. All right, let's see what we can find here.
Anyway.
Oh, this is good. Let's play her for a little bit.
Bertrand admitted this alt and he desecrated the Eucharist. In ritualistic abuse, the man was criminally prosecuted and convicted for rape. We also have the fact that
rape in the Catholic Church?
Never.
Sexual assault in the Catholic Church? How could they? Let's see.
Then again, it's always like a Tuesday to them. So it's like,
okay. Is this the same guy? I don't know. Friar Jacob. There's a Jacob Bertrand Jenzik.
well, I know that in down in Louisiana,
Bishop McElroy, knowing of all this.
Yeah, this guy played cover up for the abuse that Jacob did. I just skimmed an article about it.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I know that
Speed read.
Sorry.
I'm not able to do that as a dyslexic. It's crazy. So there is a occult abuse story tells. This was 10 months ago on the Dr. J show on the YouTube channel Ruth Institute.
Boy.
No, satanic black mass, huh?
For Protestants, how is that different than any other mass?
Oh. So Fiverr. So is this the gal? Rachel, Catholic Church, her predator as a deacon. So there's an actual interview with. Is the victim's name Rachel Mastraggiacomo?
Yeah.
Mastraggiacomo.
I don't know.
Yeah, looks like it.
There's an interview of her. What a delicious detail.
No, I don't really want to go through that.
When he came in, reinstated him to ministry in a parish, putting no restrictions on him whatsoever and only removing him when the criminal charges came down.
All right. Do you think that could be a touch of pot calling the kettle black?
And so that lady was Catholic, or is?
Yes. At least I'm going by the hashtag Catholic Podcast.
So
wait, you're referring to the host of the clip I was taking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she regularly calls herself a Catholic and essentially defends Catholicism from both the Pope and abusive Catholics, is what I'm getting.
Wow.
This reminds me of this like thought-stopping meme that you'll hear during Protestant teachings, is that the church is not a museum of saints. It's a hospital of sinners. What? So
the irony of needing that.
Right, and you can just vacuum up like any level of discretion or what's the word I'm looking for? Of depravity or whatever that someone does, and just be like, yeah, we all know this place kind of sucks.
So the glass is half empty type of thing.
Half.
I'm just being.
The glass is fucking a sinkhole.
Yeah, there's an old George Carlin joke of an optimist says the glass is half full and a pessimist says the glass is half empty. And as a cynic, I see the glass is twice as big as it fucking needs to be. Wow.
As a Christian cynic, you see the glass broken and unfillable.
As a Christian cynic, I see that the glass is an illusion.
Just pouring water all over your body.
Yeah.
It's going nowhere.
They call it baptism, right?
Oh! It's funny how that washing of sins didn't quite work.
I think that's crazy.
Are the comments like ridiculous too?
I think they've been cleansed.
Oh, okay.
She
deletes like the bad ones. Like
I think so.
F your church for having people like this in it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me hit the newest and see if maybe different because it's unpopular. Let's see. The plunger?
I can't see. Like we can't see all of what you're looking at there.
Yeah, I can only.
Okay, there we go. Or full screen. What you're sharing. There you go.
Please put the beginning of the video. The plunger. Laugh my ass off. It's got to be the best one.
Like you're digging out the shit of the Catholic Church. Like, what are you trying to flush the abuse away? I don't get it. Like, unless you're trying to be clever.
So 6 days ago, somebody commented, "Great evidence is why the Catholic Church needs to be wiped from the face of the earth."
I mean, in part, sure.
That same bishop is now a cardinal. He'll be responsible for electing a new pope. Sickening. God have mercy on us all. So, yeah, I don't think they purged all of it. There's still some negative comments here.
How many subscribers?
Just a touch over 300,000. 312,000.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they should have a full staff looking at this. And it's Church Militant, huh?
Yeah, it's called Church Militant. Let's go take a look at the About tab here. Let's see what it says. All right, churchmilitant.com is a Catholic apostolate. Bifocals suck, by the way.
Based on Detroit.
Based on the Metro Detroit area and dedicated to spreading the Catholic faith through the use of digital media, we aim to provide everyone with means to increase their personal holiness through catechesis and evangelicalism about the truth of the Christian faith. We also aim to convert non-Catholics to the faith founded personally by Jesus Christ, on the strengthen the faith of existing Catholics. We hope that it is to achieve this by bringing Jesus Christ to the internet through the use of digital media. They've had 130 million views.
Yep. I looked them up on Social Blade. The high estimate of their yearly revenue from the channel alone is $130,000 a year.
Wow.
Rachel Mastro Giacomo.
For just a YouTube channel. That doesn't even count whatever the fuck else they do.
Wow.
You know, to earn money or get collections or whatever. Oh my gosh. What if you're a 501c and you get all that YouTube revenue, is it taxed?
If you're a 501c, I don't think so.
Oh my God, I don't believe it. That's so disgusting.
Well, it's like the church exemption, yeah?
Yeah, America sucks.
Sorry, it's just, like I said, Canadian over here, so it's
yeah, you're good. You know, what I'm curious about, and I started looking this up while I was like trying to figure out, like, is Christianity still true? Where should I go if I still think it is? And I just like, what really could my problems be with Catholicism? And it's not just these fuckity priests or whatever. I go through the history of popes, and like Pope Boniface VIII wanted pedestry and pedophilia to be fine in the church. You know, there were popes that had affairs with their pages, male pages. There were popes that had children by women who were not the wives that they couldn't have. There were plenty of popes that wanted genocides on various people groups at different stages of history. Like, there were popes fine with putting atheists or non-believers in cages above congregations and letting them starve to death. Sounds like a great place to be. So yeah, the history of the church is much more complexly gross than I think most Catholics who are just going in and out week to week, especially American ones, have no clue. The blood, the abuse, the scrubbing over, the flushing with the plunger of history that goes on to keep them in that seat.
I think it was the Borgias that basically, like, the reason why you got the glitz and the glamour at the Vatican, like where everything is almost, cuddled in gold and all that kind of crap, it's basically because of them. So, and I think it was like in 15th or 16th century. Anyway, yeah, most of the wealth apparently of the church it derives from them, as in the buildings and all that kind of crap. So it's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, because there was this.
So when
we're
looking at this context,
the bourgeois of the early Renaissance, the proto-Renaissance, and the end of the medieval period into the proto-Renaissance and then the Renaissance eras, had a concept of patronage for different forms of craftsmanship, metallurgy and painting. And what they would do is the very wealthy, the church, would just commission as many of these skilled artisans that they could. And then, the artisans are like, hell yeah, I'll take all your money. Like, I'm converted. Let's go. What do you want painted? Right? Sistine Chapel. You think that was done for a few bucks? Hell no. Right? Michelangelo probably got a sweet deal on that. And then the metallurgy to make this all golded and gilded. I mean, come on. They just paid for all that. And then it got fancy schmancied.
Yep, pretty
but
much.
but then you compare it to like the early Gothic cathedrals and English Catholic churches. There's like hardly any of that shit. Why? Because the money was concentrated in Italy and southern France.
I think the Hagia Sophia is like the exception of the rule, but still. Well,
oh, where's that
at? Jerusalem, I think.
Oh, well, that's a holy land, of course.
Anyway, it's just like you just kind of like see all the glitz and the glamour, and it's just like nobody like it does scream. It basically scream. I'm compensating for something.
I wish Pat Lowinger was here because he would maybe fact check me or correct me on my general sense of what all this is. Yeah, let's see what this guy's got to say.
Oops, Istanbul. Sorry.
So when we're looking at this context of answers which come from the Word of God, arguments that come from us, and angry men, we have to admit within our own selves that there are times when we become the ones who are angry with God because He's
Wait, so what's the reasoning here? Go back.
not doing what we thought He should. This context of answers which come from the Word of God, arguments that come from us, and angry men, we have to admit within our own selves that there are times when we become the ones who are angry with God because He's not doing what we thought He should do when He thought He should do it. How many of you?
So he's saying the Bible has answers to our problems, but we have our own reasons and answers to problems. And that creates tension in the relationship with God. Got it.
Mm-hmm. And I would just like to say with the spectrum of pink, fuchsias, purples, he's very appropriate for June with his kerchief and tie.
You ever get frustrated when God didn't check your schedule? What you need to realize in that moment is the God that you're angry with is the God who is able, and you're not. So
You got that? Yeah.
Able
the God that is completely incapable of doing His word. But don't worry, it was God breathed. The word was God breathed. It says so while it was written by humans.
And somehow you're incompetent.
Yeah. Somehow. The person like myself who doesn't believe that it was God breathed, and I'm mad at God, quote unquote, because I haven't been shown that it was written by God or God breathed. That somehow makes sense.
I think what he's trying to say is for believers that feel like some, need in their life or desire that they had went unfulfilled, that they essentially are asking something inappropriate from God, or that if it is unmet, you got to wait longer,
Mm-hmm.
because or He's going to meet that need in some other way that you don't expect.
I like BS's comment here. It's a one-sided relationship. If there's just one, it's not a relationship.
Right.
It's almost like I remember when I was young and naive and maybe too scared to ask a girl out, you'd be like, oh, I hope this scenario occurs. Like,
unacquainted?
Like I feel like God's a shy teenager. Just kind of like standing as a wallflower at the middle school dance.
I have my perfect tweet. Are you ready?
Yeah.
God demands our codependence with no obligation to reciprocate.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yep. That's good.
That's brilliant. Well, what do we do now? What do we do now?
Oh, you're out of clips?
Oh, no, I'm sure I can find some more.
Put your trust in him. Put your faith in him.
I've got a next one.
Put your hope in him, because he is the God who will not fail.
Except if you ask for a thing that you have to find out later he didn't want to do for you.
Yeah, it just blows my mind all throughout the Bible.
Dave Roberts as well. He's the manager for the Dodgers. He claims to be Christian, and we've heard nothing. Zero.
This is
from that man.
This is another from church militant.
And at all.
Can you imagine him standing before the throne of Christ on his judgment, having to explain his silence in the face of outrageous sacrilege? I wouldn't want to be in that position. I don't want to be him. I don't envy that.
And that's
what was the sacrilege that he did?
So if you haven't heard about this, actually Doug at Pine Creek did a little bit of a review on this.
When did this happen?
But the sisters in mid-May area, there was supposed to be some sort of honoring for pride or some variation of the sisters of indulgence, the sisters of perpetual movement or motion, the sisters of perpetual motion, which basically mock. They're an advocacy group, and they raise money in charity. They're a 501c. They mock essentially the saints. It's nun drag. Thank you, BS.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. It's nun drag. They mock the saints, and it's kind of funny, actually. So the story goes that the Dodgers invited him as a, some sort of promotion, rescinded because the Catholic diocese in LA was outraged by the invite, and then
of course they were.
Yeah, and then there was kind of a backlash to having it canceled. The Dodgers canceled it, and then re-invited them on a different night or something, and they accepted. And the boycott of the Dodgers is on, as far as I know.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I've heard it both ways in perpetual indulgence and perpetual motion. Or no, I'm sorry. Sisters of Indulgence. I think it's Sisters of Indulgence or Sisters of Perpetual Motion, which are both derogatory terms in some form or fashion of what they do.
Jeez.
Yeah. Eric, thanks for joining, by the way, or viewing the show. Look at that. Yeah.
You should look up the shorts that Orthodox Kyle does. Sometimes
Orthodox Kyle? All right, we could do that next.
Sometimes they're so cringe.
Yeah, there was another one from Militant from the same interview.
I'm just trying to find
until you have people of faith stand up, conservatives as well, just say, like, I don't want this around my kids. I don't want them interacting with this sexually depraved content. Like, this is an abomination. But when we live in a fallen world, people start to understand that people hate Jesus. These leagues hate Jesus. It's not about meritocracy anymore.
Yeah. There you go. We all hate Jesus. Let's see.
1 second. I don't think...
Is the devil real? Well, certainly Catholic.
I don't think that word means what he thinks it means. Because, like, the dictionary definition of meritocracy is the government, or the holding of power by people selected on the basis of their ability. What the absolute fudge nuggets does that have to do anything with... Okay. with like nuns in drag or like the Dodgers specifically. Nothing, right? Oh, the way these people act and the way these people believe, how dare they? And this place is no longer a meritocracy. What? Like, I'm sorry, does being a Jew affect the meritocracy? I mean, probably not most of the time, unless you're like a Jew spiricist or something. Like, does being a Muslim like affect meritocracy? Like, no, my neighbor is like a freaking surgeon, and they're devoutly Muslim. Like, they're they're pretty fucking able. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how there's any correlation to religious or like self-affiliation or whatever to like personal abilities on the grand scale of things. It's like this place is still very much in a lot of respects a meritocracy. Like, oh, do you get a job just handed to you with absolutely no credentials? I mean, if you're a Trump, then maybe, but everyone else, like, no. I went to school. I'm straight out of school. Can I be a senior software developer? Fuck no. Show us your experience, right? We will merit you this position if you can demonstrate the abilities that you have. So dumb.
So, speaking of videos to share, I basically sent you a link in the private chat, Tux.
Yeah, I don't want to play this smut on my channel.
It's not smut. It's it's just like a Jivit Attar, like condensed. The condensed debate between two of India's prominent thinkers. Like one.
So what you call as my body is an accumulation. Yes.
Is an accumulation.
It's an accumulation. It's just a piece of planet that you accumulate through the food that you eat. What you call as my mind is a heap of impressions which you also accumulate over a period of time. So your body is an accumulation, your mind is an accumulation. What you accumulate, at the most you can claim it's yours, but you cannot say it's me, isn't it? What you accumulate cannot be you, isn't it? So you gathered your body, you gathered the whole volume of your mind, so what the hell are you? Never been looked at, isn't it? You're making assumptions. So your personality, your ideologies, everything picked up. Everything accumulated.
Is anybody else hypnotized by this? Like,
so it's like the paradox of transitive identity. So like there's that old statement that the man who goes in a river doesn't come out the same. It doesn't come out the same man, right? Because material's been added, experiences created a different, neural state or body state or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because we're all like a constant walking, breathing mess of a ship of Theseus, right?
Yeah.
A significant car accident can make you a cranially different person, right? Oh, sure, most of the parts are still there, but the way you live and think about your life is completely gone, right?
I have a comment here, Niddy. BS says, the kiddies are in bed, you can say anything you want.
Yeah, I have my non-swear swears that I try to use at work. Like, what's their name? What's it nuts? Or I'll say like, fudge nuggets around my kids, or like, I have to think of more of my non-swears, but they're great.
Yeah. Yeah, has anybody watched Johnny Dangerously? Let's see. We'll cue this up. We'll play some more of.
Accumulated.
Now, when you say that whatever a mind is accumulated, my body is accumulated, that is not me. It is like saying that as long as you can peel the onion, you are not finding the onion. These skins are the onions. This accumulation is me. If you eradicate this accumulation, I don't exist.
Your thought. Your thought is essentially coming
They put that
from
goal
the
score.
information that is already there in your mind.
But
The
that's
data that is there in your mind. It's
the
complex.
onion analogy is
But
the
it is
opposite
within
of
the
what
limited
he's
data that you have.
going at, right? Because if you're only taking away materials and you're not adding materials or exchanging materials from an object, the remaining stuff is still the essentials of what that thing was, right? If I only take parts off of a chair, like it's still chair parts, but I haven't like fundamentally altered anything that was considered like the chair. I've just deconstructed what we've usually defined as chair. Like it still could exist again if I just reassembled the parts in the same order. Unless you want to argue their temporal state has now changed and therefore it's a new chair. I mean, then fuck you, but...
Yeah, fuck you. You said it. All right, here's Niddy. Here's Niddy at work.
Go ahead. I would like to direct this to the distinguished members of the panel. You lousy corksuckers. You have violated my Fargan rights. This Samanambachin country was founded so that the liberties of common patriotic citizens like me could not be taken away by a bunch of Fargan ice holes.
Pretty much.
This is my life right here. I
Like yourselves. Thank you very much.
What do the names Benny the Hump, Roland Carpidi, and Izzy the Nose mean to you?
Don't mean a thing.
Recognize this?
No.
Can you explain how your fingerprints got on this gun, which was used to kill everyone in the building at 110 East 40th Street?
Where do you get that, huh?
If a train left New York at 300 miles per hour, an accelerated speed 15 miles per hour, and traveled a distance of 683 miles, tell me, sir, what time would that train reach Chicago? What the fucking delinquent, sir? What time did I hit the train up? Are you fucking I done?
Deported for what?
Just Sweeten claims he's not from there. It's one of those movies where it wasn't that good, but the more times you watch it, the funnier it is because there's just so many hidden jokes in it.
That's funny. That was great.
Yeah, there's another scene where he does the does some more of the
non-swears.
Non-swears, yeah. Look at the mouth on that guy.
Dundee's gang is here.
What's that bastard want, huh?
Oh boy.
Bastich. You Gorgon assholes. That's right. Hey, check out the mouth on that guy.
Maroney? What are you doing here, icehole?
Hey, can a fellow enjoy a night out gambling with some of his pals?
Don't bullstein me. Search the summon on bench.
Hey, we're clean, Maroney. You see, I don't bear no grudges, even though you boys have been muscling in on my territory. Why do you do that, Maroney?
It's a free country, icehole.
We're clean, boys.
Okay, you and the rest of your bastages can gamble. But don't try no bargain trick. Otherwise, you wind up with your bells in a sling.
What a mouth on that guy.
What a mouth on that guy.
Well, yeah, it's getting later here too, so I just wanted to pop on and say hey.
All right.
And see how much goof we were going to indulge ourselves in. But this was good, man. I'll see you around.
All right. Thanks, Niddy, for coming on. Chris, you sticking around?
Well, I could for a little while, but...
All right. Yeah, BS. Yeah, I know. Covalent? You're new to the program, I believe. Welcome, welcome. I believe.
I think this movie was like in response to the the Hollywood bylaws.
Could be.
Or it's like a parody of it. Seems like Rawhide type of style. Blues Brothers. Anyway.
No, it could be. Yeah, could have been. It's a little more like, especially that scene's a little more like, there's a old Frank Sinatra movie called something like Robin Hood and His Merry Men, Seven Merry Men, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like that. James Bond. Yeah. Could be in a James Bond-ish. Oh, Dave's still here. He didn't go to bed. He's gonna stay out. Dave, come on. Come on, let's party all night. We'll get some booze. And yeah, we were playing some Johnny Dangerously. Dude, we were telling everybody Dave's not here.
He crowd surfs pretty much.
Well, Eric, Trusty Ape, BS, Dave, feel free to jump on. All right, let's watch. Let's see. What did I have? I got Satan. Satan. Is Satan real? Let's start this one over.
Oh, I thought you were going to the
devil real.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you? Basically, it's. I just kind of wanted to do shorts tonight, but
yeah.
Let's see what the conclusion is here.
Very bad, but you are out of control. You can go either way.
What about the ultra-rationalists, the communists, the Stalinist regimes?
No, they are not rationalists. They are communists. They have faith. They believe in communism. I am not only against religion or spiritualism, which is the debris of religion. I am against faith. If communism is your faith, then you are as bad as a religious person.
That's well put, sir. So what do you live with then? If you don't live with a belief system, what do you live with? You're talking of extremities, but
how about common sense?
All right.
Well, you can see it on your own time, I guess.
Well, certainly Catholic teaching says he's real. Jesus had an encounter with him, probably more than one. What's surprising here is the number of people who, when you ask them, they're like, well, we don't really believe in the devil
yeah, they sound like
as a being, as an entity in and of himself. Satan's just kind of a belief system, kind of a spirit of rebellion.
All right. So, the spirit of rebellion. I mean, he's almost got it right.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan!
Every single human being who comes into existence, Satan prepares a place for them because of his hatred toward humanity.
Okay. Do you think it
So we're screwed from the beginning.
Yeah.
There's no way out of it.
So the trap door is set before we've even figured out how to get out of the birth canal. We've already been rigged.
We all have a free will. You are allowed to choose against God. Now, it always...
There you go. You can choose against God. Yeah, I just don't think that there's a God. And what kind of jagoff God would design it where Satan's out there like, come on, give me, he gives the signals of a slider and here comes the pitch, and we're born and we're going to be tempted forever by Satan. He's already been preparing for it.
Either way,
for you.
It makes sense, like if we're lab rats, we're basically just
lab rats. That would make sense if we're
For people who sort of scoff at the idea of Satan, or he's not really a real being, it's just kind of an ideology.
Well, that's what I say. That is what I say. Yeah, I think human beings are fully capable of being the deceivers that is the Holy Bible. All right. Well, thank you, Eric. You have a wonderful night. It was good to see you on with Niddy last night, by the way. You were great. You were great. So, thanks, Eric. Go play some more Doblo. God pitches and the devil catches. Yeah. Send me a curveball. Send me a changeup. Send me your fastball. You know, that makes perfect sense. I don't know. Get off my lawn. You damn kids! Get off my lawn!
I am.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Well, Chris, I thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I think there was one more that I wanted to show of that guy talking about when you're dying. I can't remember if I played it already. But when you're dying, that Satan is actually right there waiting to remind you of everything you've done wrong.
Are you going to show it? Or
I've got to find it. And I don't see it right off the bat. But yeah, basically, let's see. The truth about God.
Sounds like a Monty Python thing.
It does kind of. The Tenement Square. As long as we allow this to go on well. Yeah, yeah, there's one where he's where I'm not able to find it though.
All right.
Let's see if this is it. Oh, no.
Through the lens of the new movie Nefarious. Talk about...
So this isn't what I was looking for, but it'll do.
Okay. So...
demonic possession and evil. And we're going to talk about it through the lens of the new movie Nefarious.
Prove to me you're a demon.
Probably just a coincidence.
So interesting. There's a movie called Nefarious. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Let's see when this came out. Nefarious.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came from the Pure Flicks.
Oh. 2023 Nefarious. Ooh.
And who's the publisher?
Let's see. YouTube, Rotten Tomatoes. It was released in April 14th. Did 5.4 mil at the box office. Distributed by Sole Daro Gloria Releasing. Not familiar with them.
Me neither. So
let's see. It does have a biblical reference, I think. Glory is usually translated glory to God alone. By some translated the glory only to God. Similar phrase can be found in. So yeah, it's probably a
Christian movie production. Either way, it sounds like
let's see. It is a Christian independent horror film.
Yeah, you can basically.
Oh, it's got Sean Patrick Flannery in it.
Hmm.
Oh, I like him.
But usually, when it's like Christian movies, you can spot it a mile away.
Yeah,
I don't know how or why, but you can tell.
Critical response. It's got a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. 15 critics reviewed it at 4 out of 10. Audiences surveyed the CinemaScope. Blah, blah, blah. It's got a 61 saying definitely recommend it. So there you go. So it is a Christian movie. Where is it? Get it on YouTube's where it's streaming. Well, good deal. Let's see what's going on here.
Evil exists when things should be a certain way and they are not, and people's lives are destroyed, and young people committing suicide, and just one thing after another. That's evil, and it's all
so it's all brought
to us by the demonic. Much of what's talked about in this movie is just that. There's an intelligence.
All right, so so if a Christian organization created a movie so that you can chastise it by being a demonic movie, does that sound like you stacked the deck?
That's what I call propaganda.
Active intelligence at work in the world today, which is evil by its nature and wants to destroy. That's all it does. And the diabolical hates humanity and wants nothing.
All right. I want to counter this by simply stating that I think the Holy Bible is deception. Deception created by human beings, and those human beings have profited greatly off of that deception. Now, if you want to declare that all of this stuff is evil and that there's demonic forces out there that are creating that evil, that's fine. That's fine. However, I think what is actually going on is I am picking up my phone and it says spam alert. And I get to thank somebody else for flagging that call, that there is a spam call coming in. I get to thank somebody who said, you know what? There's people out there who could be tricked by this. We need to eliminate the possibility best we can so that people don't receive a negative benefit, a negative outcome to this phone call occurring. And I think it's the same thing with the Catholic Church. I think it's the same thing with Christian Church. I'll even go as far as all the Abrahamic religions, all three of them, and their branches. Every single one of them needs to be labeled scam alert. Scam alert. And you know what? we won't have the problem of demonic as is suggested by this gen.
Although you have to be careful because you're going to be put at the stake for saying that because they don't like it.
Destroy us. That's why you need grace to escape them.
That's why. That's why you need grace to escape them, huh?
But my reaction to this would be, the night is dark and full of terrors. Basically, it's the same vibe I'm getting, and it's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, be afraid of the unknown. Be scared. Don't try to poke your head and see what's outside of the window.
That's cray. That's cray.
Anyway.
Wow. Just wow.
So,
what would you do if you were me? Huh. It's wow, just wow.
So you're talking about the Saw dilemmas?
The Saw dilemmas, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm gonna be dead either way. So, no, seriously. Horror movies, I'm the first one to go. Like, no wins and buts about it. Even in post-apocalyptic stuff where people just kind of fantasize that they're going to survive it and all that stuff. Nah, I'm probably one of the first people to go. Although it's not that I'm going to just crawl into a ball and just let myself die, but that's one of the things when you have a permanent disability, though. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Curiosity did kill the cat, and BS. Librarians are always the first to die in horror films. I concur. I concur. And curiosity would kill a cat, but also prevent cats dying unnecessarily in the long run. Fixed typo. Got it. I see, said the blind man. Well, maybe we should do a moment of Zen. Do a little bit of a Jesus and God bad. And that's it.
All right.
I think we've done pretty good damage for the night.
Yep.
So
about an hour and a half.
Chris, you got any last words?
No, not really.
No. Okay.
But thanks for having me on. I guess.
Yeah. Well, just remember, let's get Bloody Jesus queued up. Well, just remember that Bloody Jesus is a indication that gave means Bloody Jesus. Bloody Jesus is a good indication that if God so loved the world, he could have just hugged his son. Because it is an evil so evil that the Christian says whatever is good It's bad. It's evil. So, where'd my, there we go. I'll do, share this tab instead. Here's your moment of Zen. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. Bow tie bless.